What's up? Another day on a dollar here, back at again another video. And today, you can say this is day one, from day 4 of rebuilding the Eclipse. So today is actually a not too bad of a day. Like the weather is all right, not the best. Could have been working on it honestly for Saturday and Sunday, but Saturday was raining. Sunday I wanted to relax. Today it was just, I have no excuses. I'm kind of like lazy, pretty much lazy today, but it's really calm today. But the reason why I'm making this video, because there's one guy, he just comment of he gets a little bit stuck to taking off the axle nut off. So I'll show you guys at least on a couple steps what to do and a couple tools to buy, because sometimes some axle nuts be really stuck. So I give you little symptoms I'm gonna tell you, and then after that I'm gonna show you the tools too as well. So let's say if you're taking off this side of the axle nut, there's a couple things that you want to do. Got the neighbor, you know, he's got the neighbor saying what's up. But there's a couple things you want to do. Let's take one. Definitely do recommend, if you're taking off the axle, I definitely do recommend before you jack up the car, take off the axle nut while the car's on the floor. That's number one. Number two, if this car is stick shift, by the way, so if you guys drive stick, put it in first gear. Or it will be better if you remember lefty loosey righty tighty. So if you want, put it in reverse, because it's going to hold the car going backwards, and if you're unloosening it, and it's going to turn the wheel going this way, so it's pretty much lefty loosey. So on the driver's side, comparison to the passenger side, if you want to take it off, this car's going backwards, so you want to put it in first gear so the car can hold it from not going backwards, if you know what I mean. So that's number 1, 2 method. Let's say you jump the gun and you doing whatever else, like whatever situation else, and you take off the wheels already up and you don't feel like dropping it down. These are a couple methods to do too as well. If you see, by the way, this is on the driver's side, but if you see the rotor and you see in the top right here, stick a screwdriver right here, then after, like right here, then after that your caliper is going to hold it, and then you're able to get the lug nut off. But let's say if you're doing on the passenger side, still the same thing, but instead of you doing from the top, you want it at the bottom, because again, we lefty loosey righty tighty, the wheel want to go reverse. So you want to put needs a screwdriver at the bottom of the wheel so it can hold it proper. And let's say if your lug nut is stuck and on there, the best situation to do, if you already have the car on the jack stands and the axle nut is kind of stuck, I really do apologize you got into this position, because right now you're at a very thing that it can get you really angry, or it can go very wrong. So before you, let's say if you get the accident and it's really stuck, you already did that situation, blah blah blah, this, that, and the third, and it's still stuck, right? Now we show you the tools and what I got showing you. By the way, video is going to be dropping very soon. I've been getting car work every single time when I have like a day to relax and then kind of like enjoy my 2 days off. After when I have my 2 days off and I'm thinking about to work for myself, I get other people calling me for car work. So that's why it's been a while me working on the Eclipse, because every time when I have a day to myself, I have to work on another car and then I'm exhausted. All right, tools that I definitely do recommend. And before I show you guys, a couple things to do is put bricks behind the wheel so it can kind of hold it a little bit stronger. But if you're still really having truck stuck, your jack handle and a whatever wrench that you don't really care about is pretty good. But sometimes this is not a good method, and honestly best method anytime that you get anything that's stuck. Just like the guy who promotes, if you ever watched the video and stuff like that, but he went viral all over the place. It do work. You buy yourself a box of crayons, right? A box of crayons. You get yourself a torch. Let me show you guys the torch. Get yourself a torch, all right? Make sure you get the one in the yellow bottle because the flame is hotter in comparison to the, let me show you. A lot of people will get this, and I got this to myself too. The blue bottle. So the blue bottle is good, but it's not the best for at least these bolts. The yellow one kind of holds the yellow one actually is the flame is hotter, so you can get the bolt a little bit hotter. But you can do your own research between the two. They have yellow and they have blue and they have the red bottle. So you guys can do your own information. Which ones? But I did so far the yellow one compared to blue. The yellow one is actually stronger. But I just I low-key forgot about the information. But all I know is the yellow one is a little bit better for those seized bolts. But to be honest, any flame can work. It depends how seized the bolt is and how long you have to have the flame on. But this is the trick. I just have to go and get it. So this is the one thing I definitely do recommend. A lot of people, I'm gonna put this right here. But yeah, but a lot of people, they say torque wrenches is only good for torquing but down bolts. They are completely wrong. They're completely wrong. And especially some of mechanics, like in shops and stuff like that, they're gonna be like, oh, never use a torque wrench for a breaker bar. That's something that's like you just don't supposed to do. This is the one thing I say, a torque wrench is way better than an impact. Like the impact is good, but the time you have like those like a breaker bar and those real stuck ones, this is what I mean by like sometimes those breaker bars is not really the greatest because number one, it would snap, and two, sometimes you don't really use it as often. So if you, this is a torque wrench, but this is I forgot what size this is, but it's not a 3/8. It's damn, I forgot. 3/4, I think. I forgot, but it's one of the biggest sizes. It's not an inch, because I know one goes bigger than this one. I know one goes bigger than this one, but it's pretty much like the same size as this. So this is an adapter piece that I put on here by Icon. So it's pretty much this size, and this goes into the regular. Yeah, I think this is 3/8. This is 3/8. This is 3 1/4. 3 1/4. So this goes into that, so you can kind of get that on there. But this is the reason why the torque wrench is actually good, because this right here, you see, it goes all the way to 300 foot-pounds. By the way, this is the Harbor Freight brand by Pittsburgh. But this is a tool I definitely do recommend to use when you getting notes off. So that is a tool that actually saved me. Let me see if the guy's home. Let me see. Sometimes he leaves. If he's here, then I'll show you guys the car. But if not, then it is what it is. I'll just show you guys. I'll just tell you guys. Okay, so he is not currently home. Oh, but they do got another car that's on the street that's almost the same. But if you see, I don't know, that Audi right there. But I think that was a wagon. But I was working on an Audi A4 2013. It was needed the struts, front struts and rear struts replaced. The back struts, the bolts was completely seized in there. I mean, it was not coming out at all. I used a torque. I used a not a torque wrench, but I used a small torque wrench. It goes up to 150 foot-pounds. So that's the one that is probably a lot of people maybe have, and this in here, and you're gonna see the difference between the two. While I say get the 3/4 for a breaker bar, use this as a normal torque wrench for like torquing down wheels, but all right, yeah, but you see the difference between the two. Like, it's night and day difference. Most people, this is the normal size of kind of like a breaker bar will be at. Like, it's the same size as, like, you see on my arm, kind of. But if you see for this one is like almost a full length of my arm, and it's way heavier too. So it's almost like you can see the difference between the two. Yeah, that's a good picture. But yeah, but it's a good picture. Like, just by these two. So most people uses this to torque down a wrench, and this one goes up to, again, 150, and this one is double. So like I was saying, the 2013 I was working on suspension. Wheels is completely, bolt is completely seized on there. So a couple steps I like to do, I forgot to record it, but just pit heat with the torch I was showing you. Buy yourself a box of crayons. Don't buy too much. If you know you work on cars a lot, buy the biggest pack. If you don't really work on them too much and you just need something, just buy a small pack. Or you have any kids around, just try to go inside and try to steal one of the crayons. Don't get caught, by the way, but definitely do take one. But yeah, I definitely do recommend it. But this is a trick about heating the bolt, because some people just don't explain too much. Maybe in the future that I will show. I think I did it in one of my videos, but I do recommend, so when you have the bolt, heat it up like crazy. Just heat it up until you start to see smoke. When you start to see smoke, that means it's pretty much the bolt is getting a little bit hot. It's getting hot. All the rust that's on there is pretty much, I wouldn't say not melting, but it's smoking. So it's about to, the pretty much like the rust and everything is starting to open up. So just keep on holding it until you don't really see no smoke really off of the bolt. If it's rubber, just be careful. But really the bolt itself, you start to see a little bit of smoke of it. After when it gets to that point, put the crayon on it, put a good amount. But then after that, don't just put the bolt on there, the thing, try to unlock it off, try to unbolt it off. After you put the crayon back on there, it will cool back down. So that means after that, then you take the torch, heat it back up until it gets very hot again, until you're satisfied. Then from there, I definitely do recommend not use this. Use this, because it's a lot longer for leverage, and it's at 300 foot-pounds. So tighten it all the way to 300 foot-pounds. And then after that, if it's still not going, another method that I like to do, if it's, you're in those weird situation that's very kind of hard, to be honest, take the jack. The jack will be your friend. So as in, like, take the jack, put on the bolt, take the jack right here, and then you're just gonna jack it up like that. And then when it jacks up, then it just breaks free. That's what saved me working on the 2013 Audi A4. Doing rear suspension, because they have those long bolts like that. But pretty much, yeah, those are the 3 methods that I do recommend when you doing any type of seize bolt. Especially axle nuts is very difficult. But by the way, definitely torque them down to spec. I think it's on my old videos, but I can be wrong. I think it's for the Eclipse, is like maybe 180. I think it's like 180 foot-pounds, or it can be up to 220. I think it's like 220 or 210, like somewhere around between 170 and 210. But kind of double check if you have the 4-cylinder or the V6, because they do got 2 different torque specs. Just because of the V6 has more power and the 4-cylinder has less power, so you don't need that much. You don't need that much foot-pounds on the axle nut, depending on what engine size you have, because different torque ratings of the car. That's the main reason why. Not because of the engine size. It's really just by the torque. 4-cylinder has less torque. V6 has a little bit more torque, so it kind of depends what torque you put on the axle nut. Because you don't want to put too much, because then you will damage the wheel bearing. You don't want to put too less, because the axle nut will come back off. So you just need that sweet spot right in the middle. Now you don't want to tighten it too much to get, so you could damage the wheel bearing and it gets stuck when you have to take it back off. So I definitely do recommend to tighten it to the foot-pounds. But other than that, then I'm just gonna pick this day to start doing the small stuff right now. Well, my tires are flat because the one, I think this rim is cracked, so that's something I have to fix in the future. And this tire, the valve stem is bad. But what I'm gonna do is clean out everything that's in this car, because to be honest, when this car broke, I was very upset. So I was very kind of pissed because the differential broke on that one, and then this differential broke on that one almost the same week. And then after that, I was gonna use my dad's car to start working and stuff like that and pick him up from work. And then after that, when he went to work, his differential went out too. So yeah, so that's kind of like one of those situations that is like, you just gotta hang in there, and it's kind of like just take it one day at a time. But yeah, little videos how it is. Some things is gonna definitely change up on my channel. I started to do some thinking and stuff like that. So the one thing I noticed about a lot of people is, even like the top people, I'm not really saying no names, nothing like that, even like people who's drag racing and stuff like that, and like anybody you kind of think of, like Cletus, Booster Boys, and all type of stuff, they don't really show you what happens behind the scenes. So it's as in, like, they don't really show you what stuff that you have to do, what stuff that, yeah, like their mental is at, and all type of stuff. So all of that, that's going to be my channel. It's going to be a real channel. I ain't going to sugarcoat nothing. Some things is going to be edited, because I'm not going to drop a full video of me just doing whatever for like an hour. But pretty much, yeah, I'm gonna try to buy the supplies. You're still gonna see car content, you're still gonna see bike content. I'm gonna still be going in like nature and stuff like that, kind of like seeing cool different spots, traveling and all type of stuff. But yeah, but this is gonna be the real type of video. I'm gonna be buying a lot more stuff. So as in, like, right now I'm recording on my phone. Yeah, so this is my new phone, by the way. If you guys don't know, got it for free, by the way, too. But it's an A37, so it's not too bad, but it's camera quality is a lot better than my old one. But pretty much, yeah. So after today, grind never stops. We only reaching to the top. The one thing I noticed too, before I cut this video out, the people who watch my videos, I definitely do appreciate everybody who watch my videos. And the one thing I do recommend for everybody, anybody else that's trying to be up in life, they trying to do whatever they want to do. I don't know, whatever that you kind of think that you want to do in your life, then that's whatever you do. But everybody else have a plan A. So everybody has a plan A. Everybody else have a plan B. So plan A is like, right now you speaking, you at your job, whatever like that, you doing your daily due diligence and stuff like that. That's plan A, all right? But sometimes when you're trying to be up there and be at a certain point in your life, a lot of people put that as a plan B. They put that on the side and wait until plan B to go past plan A to switch over to plan A. But sometimes it sounds smart in your head, but then after that, when you actually do reality, it's a bad decision. So as in, it's just like you're putting most of your time in plan A. So I say, if you put 75% of your time on plan A, and then like the extra 25% on plan B, plan B is going to be very hard for you to get to the point that you want to be at, because why you're not putting your all in. You're only putting 25% of your time into it. So pretty much, as in, you have to at least, of course everybody got to eat, but whatever that you want to do, you have to at least put 50% in, or none at all. Because of course you can't just say nothing like that, but But everybody else is different. But I would say at least a minimum 50%. If you can't do 50%, then there's no point in you doing it at all, and you rather just continue to what you're doing now. But other than that, if you could pick 50%, or even if you can split it, going even higher than that is in whatever position that you're in. So just definitely do that, or whatever kind of like things that, you know, kind of makes you a little bit better, I guess. But this video is getting a little bit too long. It's already been like 20 minutes. So but pretty much, yeah, I'm gonna start cleaning out this car and then after that, getting prepared for at least for tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do a step by step. I don't think I'm gonna do too much, because I actually want to post short little videos, because I'm gonna take my time on it, like I said. So I do currently have to take out the axles out. So these are the things that I so you guys watching this video, and you guys made it to this point, definitely put in the comments below after when I say this, whatever things that you want me to record, like a how-to video, even though I recorded already, but I'll have no problem doing it again because I'm making a video. So I remember this one guy had problems with axles, even though I explained it, but I can make a direct front video tomorrow and show you guys how to do whatever stuff, how to, you know, whatever stuff I do. But pretty much, yeah. So a couple things I had to go and do. I'll show you guys the engine bay before I close it out. By the way, I do have a hold on. But by the way, I do got a full video how to drop a transmission out for a 3rd gen Eclipse. That was like almost like it wasn't my first time, but first time making a video on my YouTube channel, but it was about like my 2nd time doing it when I made that video. But it's not too bad taking off the things. The most and hardest part of this job, I'm gonna tell everybody, the most hardest part of this job is one, your motor mount in the back. Sometimes mine broke, so I had to do it in a different way. I had to take the bolts off the sides and do it that way. Good luck getting it back in, by the way. But the second thing is releasing the knuckle from the throwout bearing. So that is something that is very, very hard to do. So I'm not gonna explain it in this video. That's gonna take a little bit too long, and yeah, it's very kind of hard trying to do it on video too as well. But I'm gonna try to make a personal video for that, because that's something that needs to be a little bit more like its own video and kind of like explain out for it a little bit long. But pretty much, yeah, I'm gonna just take it one day at a time and see what kind of broke. First time me taking apart a differential on YouTube, taking apart a transmission. I saw this one guy did it on YouTube, by the way, if you guys want to know. But I saw this one guy did it on YouTube, but he never really, he did it in like part 2s or part 3s. I don't know what he did. But yeah, he did the video on like 2. I think he did like a part 2 and then part 3. But he wasn't really showing people how to do it. He was just like taking off bolts and kind of like showing people how to do it. But it was just, he didn't really show too much. So when I'm gonna be actually the official person how to do a how-to video, so anybody want to do a LSD swap onto it. By the way, I found a part for the LSD. It's only it's $1,300 so for LSD. But I'm gonna probably might put it on. I'm gonna put that in. But again, I'm gonna take my time on it. But mainly right now, I'm just kind of want to see what did I break. But pretty much, yeah, we aiming for the top over here. Grind never stops. But at the end of the day, just like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.